So as some of you may know, Doflamingo is heading to Punk Hazard and shit is gonna get real. So I'm today gonna talk about my predictions of how this fight might go down if it is the Straw Hats versus Doflamingo, where I think it's gonna go. A little bit about Doflamingo's power, what I kind of think it might be more or less, and just overall, my thoughts on what seemingly is gonna go down. When Doflamingo was leaving, he was basically saying, about Frankie pretty much. He doesn't know who he is, obviously, but he was like, stall him, I'm coming right now. And he's on his way over there. Let's start off with his power. Now, we've seen in previous events, it seems as though Doflamingo can manipulate things. He manipulates people's bodies. We don't really know exactly how he did Oars, ripping off his leg, pretty much cutting it off. But it's safe to say there's something to do with manipulation. Maybe strings, and maybe there's more to it. When we saw Doflamingo and he was like seemingly flying, it looked almost as if he was kind of skywalking. A page before that panel where we see Doflamingo in the sky, like pretty much running on the sky or something, Law says this line, and I don't think it was really hinting at it, but then again, it could just be Oda playing with us like, I pretty much said the power, more or less, of how he's doing it in the previous page. Law says something along the lines of, can anyone manipulate wind? And then Nami says, oh, I can. And I was thinking, what if that's exactly what Doflamingo is doing? He's using his pretty much string power, whatever he has, maybe it's the control fruit or something like that, and he's manipulating the wind, basically, like using it to basically pull him through. And that's what he's doing, because it looks like, I don't know if that was actually maybe wind passing by him or strings when he was running in the sky. But maybe he can manipulate anything. He can manipulate even possibly the wind. There's no limits to a devil fruit power. We've seen the craziest things. So I was thinking it could either be Skywalk, his own version of Skywalk, or maybe Skywalk in combination with his devil fruit, maybe manipulating the wind or something like that. That's just what I was thinking as far as that goes, because a lot of people are like, how is he flying if it seemed as though he was manipulating people? He's manipulating wind, maybe. Just a thought there. Now, as far as the battle goes, I feel as though it's possible he's going to show up. He's going to see Frankie there fighting his people. And, I'm not saying this is going to be a death or not, but what if he just shows up and, like, cuts Frankie to a couple pieces? Now, obviously, Frankie won't die. He has a lot of robotic pieces. But what if he just cuts off, like, maybe Frankie's arm? And obviously, Frankie could put it back together because Frankie's pretty much a genius when it comes to his own body and whatnot. But I could see him showing up, maybe possibly messing up Frankie pretty bad, because at the end of the day, Doflamingo is pretty crafty. He's going to go up against the Straw Hats, right? And I kind of see it, like, playing out in a way where a lot of people said that maybe Law to this day has Luffy's heart from when he did surgery on him, which would have been a great move on Law's part if he did take Luffy's heart, because at the end of the day, if you're planning this far ahead and this guy has been a genius thus far, why not take somebody that could possibly be the future Pirate King or is going for that goal, and why not take their heart in advance, so that way, you have them at the palm of your hand. And here's where I'm thinking things are going to go, right? Maybe Law has an idea of what Doflamingo's powers are, because I'm sure they've had meetings before. It's kind of been hinted at. What if Law kind of knows more or less what's going on with his powers, right? They're going to have a battle. I could kind of see maybe Robin using her power to kind of grab his hands, maybe Zoro cutting the strings and whatnot, and, he's attacking Luffy. Now, I don't see this ending off with, like, him killing one of the Straw Hats or anything like that, to be honest with you. I kind of see it ending off with maybe Doflamingo, like, being a little bit overwhelmed, because at the end of the day, it's all the Straw Hats versus Doflamingo, and I'm sure Doflamingo is a monster. I'm sure he's gonna put them through hell. But I kind of see, like, if anybody's gonna die out of all the people there, as far as the main characters, not fodder, like, not just random Marines. I mean, random Marines may die, but as far as, like, the main characters, Smoker's already been beat. I don't see anything going on with him. And just overall, he has a long-term plot as far as just being after Luffy and everything that's going to go down with that. Straw Hats, I don't see them dying till the end, to be honest with you. If a Straw Hat died, that'd be craziest thing ever, but I don't see that happening. I kind of foresee maybe Doflamingo impaling Luffy, right? And we're going to think that Luffy is all messed up. But Luffy doesn't even have his heart in his chest, and Law has it. If anyone's gonna die, maybe it could be Law. That's where I'm thinking as far as, like, the main characters. Baby 5 and Buffalo, maybe Buffalo could die or something like that. Again, I see this ending with Doflamingo getting overwhelmed a bit after he kind of messes a lot of them up, and then just, like, having to retreat for now, or the Straw Hats vice versa having to retreat because, Doflamingo's too much of a monster. I kind of foresee it going that way, like, because you could kind of see it in a way, Robin grabbing his hands, if they know what he's doing as far as the manipulation with the hands with the strings. then Robin grabbing his fingers, Zoro maybe cutting the strings if he knows how to do something like that, or he could figure it out or whatnot, and then just Luffy coming in gear third and hitting him. I could kind of see it going down like that. Either one or the other side is going to have to retreat, and then that's how the battle will end. I don't think that Doflamingo is going to be finished in this upcoming scruffle. I just don't see this fight, being the conclusion to Doflamingo at all. But like I said, if anybody's going to die, which again, this is really just me throwing this out there, could definitely not be anything like that, and I don't highly believe it either. It's like a 1% chance. Maybe it could be Law. Also, it could be that just Law has Luffy's heart in his pocket or something, and when Luffy gets impaled in the chest, we think, holy shit, Luffy's dead. He don't even have his heart in his body. Just a thought there. But let me know what you think. How do you think the Straw Hats versus Doflamingo is going to go down if it does in fact happen? Because, I mean, he's heading there now. He's going there as fast as he possibly can. And that's kind of how I see it going. They're all going to try their best to get him. Maybe Baby 5 and Buffalo will get knocked out pretty quick, because at the end of the day, if Zoro really wanted to, he can make light work of them, I feel as though, he's Zoro at the end of the day, so it wouldn't take much, and then to get back to this battle with Doflamingo. And if they do go at it, that's kind of how I see it going down. Maybe they'll all just really try their best, because Doflamingo, in my opinion, back in Marineford, he was already on a whole other level, and he's probably just gotten much stronger since then. And at the same time, while Luffy, we don't really know the extent of where he can go, I feel as though he's still not at a Doflamingo level. So it's going to be the Straw Hats, like, trying to survive this onslaught of Doflamingo. And, if anyone's going to die again, maybe it's Law, maybe it might be somebody else. But what do you guys think? Is anyone going to die in this battle? How do you see it going down? And also, what do you think about my theory on Doflamingo's power? Is he manipulating the wind, possibly? Is he using just his version of Skywalk? How is that working? And just your overall thoughts. Are you excited to see Doflamingo versus the Straw Hats in the upcoming chapters and the upcoming manga of One Piece? But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait for the Straw Hats versus Doflamingo, because I know one thing, I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what's going to go down. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.